Good morning, guys. Massey 1105 driver here. I do a little update on the soybeans here that I planted with the corn planter. If you didn't see, this field was no-till, planted with my John Deere planter. And what I did was I planted 30-inch rows across the field, and then I turned around and doubled back and split my rows. And you can see the rows coming. This was planted 2 weeks ago today. And they're not perfect, but they're not bad. There's some spots like, I'm not right on, but I'd say it's close enough. There's some spots where they're 30-inch. There's some spots where they're twin 30, and then there's some spots where they're closer to 15, but overall I don't think I did too bad. It might be, hopefully this is gonna come out pretty good. We got the sun popping up. It was a little hazy this morning. It's gonna be real hot today. And by the way, today's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to anyone watching this that is a father. But before I turned the camera on, I just rolled the tape measure out and was checking. And I'm a little thinner than I wanted to be. I was shooting for 175,000 seeds to the acre. I think I'm a little under that. When I dug, I thought I was coming up with about 180, but I think I'm a little light. But there I do see some spots, like, let's see if we can zoom in here. Like here, these are just coming now. I see a lot of that where some of them are just poking up through. See, we got a little bit of rain. Like here's a couple that were just laying on top, it looks like, that are coming. So it's hard to get an exact count of what's emerged because there's some that are still popping through. This field was pretty dry when I planted it. I mean, there was moisture down in, but the surface was pretty dry, and I was shooting for 1 inch deep. And this field's in much better condition now. There's moisture right at the top. We got some rain. I'm trying to think. This was planted 2 weeks ago today, and I'm trying to think if it was the following Monday or Tuesday we got rain. I don't know. We've had a couple of rains since I planted these, and they were up in 5 days. So by the following Friday, these were up, and they're just taking off now. But like I say, I noticed in some spots that there's some that are just starting to poke through. Like here's another spot. You get a gap here, but they must have been put in deeper, or maybe they were shallower and they just needed that rain to get rolling. But I don't know. Overall, I think it looks, I'm not going to say it looks excellent or great, but I think it looks okay. I was more concerned about my spacing, getting my rows split pretty good, and it's not. I mean, there's some spots, especially where I had to turn. On a curve is the hardest. Yeah, I see I don't know if you can see him way down there, but there's a groundhog down there. That'll be the biggest problem in this field. Once the groundhogs figure out what's going on, they're going to be out here attacking, and usually right down through there and at that far end is the worst. And then up to the right of the barn, that big tree that you can see in the background in front of that hotel, they've already been working around that too. But this is in the city limits, otherwise I'd be over here with a gun hanging out and plucking them off. But I don't want to get in trouble. So here's another spot too. This was a little lower. It just left these beans on the top, and it took some rain to get them rolling. So yeah, there's still some coming, but I did 13 acres this way. This is roughly 10 acres, and then there's another 3-acre field. And best I can tell, if those acres are accurate, I used almost exactly 13 bags. So in the seed I get, the beans come in 150,000 seeds a bag is what they are. I know most of them are 140, but the beans I get are 150. So that tells me I put on about 150. But yeah, like over here, there's nothing. I don't know if these didn't come or if they've already been chewed off. Probably a little bit of both. There's going to be bare areas in this field by fall. There'll probably be bare areas in this field by midsummer. But like I say, the whole field was pretty ideal planting conditions. It was good and dry. But, okay, yeah, see here. I don't know if you can tell or not. If I get my shadow out like this, these are chewed off. Groundhog's been eating on them. So that's probably what's going on over here on this edge. They'll get 20-30 feet into the field until they get big enough that they'll quit bothering them, but they'll mow off quite a few. Just part of the game, I guess. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you a little bit of how these were coming up. They're coming up pretty good, I'd say. Damn rocks. I'll show you down here on the curve. I'm sure they go from looking pretty good to they'll probably merge into a 30-inch row down here where I turn. So like I say, that's the hardest part. Yeah, see here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a twin 30 coming around this curve. Or I didn't get it split good. It's hard to do that on the fly. I'll try and look back at my hitch and see if my hitch is in the right spot, but oh well, it got double planted, but they're just side by side instead of 15 inches apart. I did the same thing down here. This was wet. That's probably why a lot of this isn't coming up, plus the groundhogs, but that was a little bit of a wet spot there. I was able to get through it without too much trouble. I got left a track in there, but this is probably hard as a rock. So yeah, anyhow, okay, there we go. Maybe you can see up through there. Yeah, this down here's groundhogs are going to eat this, or have already eaten it. But up through there, they shouldn't bother that too much. That doesn't look too bad. There's a couple spots where I must have got lost. Or, yeah, because it's pretty good up there. There's a little dip, and I got up against and crisscrossed and then back and figured out what the heck I was doing. But anyhow, that's pretty much what it looks like across the whole field. And I've looked at the other little field and it looks about the same. About the only difference over there is there's a spot in that field that the wild onion didn't die from the or the burn down, and I don't think it'll be an issue, but there's just a little area where there's some wild onion that's pretty tall. But I see this washed out pretty good here. I did have one hard rain after these were planted, and that water comes from God knows where and runs down through here. So there was a little bit of a ditch there when I planted. It's a little bigger now. As long as we don't get too many more big ones over the summer, it shouldn't get any worse. It may be something that I have to come in here and just run the disc over it or something just to fill it in, or bring my blade over here and just blade a little bit of dirt in it to keep it from washing. But yeah, here's a goof, an oops, where I got crisscrossed. And like I say, it was a dry, and my markers were, you get some hard spots and they wouldn't cut in real good, so it was hard to see. But overall, not bad. I wish a population would have been a little thicker, but we'll see how it works. We'll call this an experiment on the population and see if around 150,000 works on this versus 175 to 180, 90. So anyhow, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll give you another quick shot here. And we'll see you on the next one.